What is going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and I thought that this would be a unique opportunity to show you something that you do not see every day, and that is the interior to a Golden Age first appearance comic. And this is a character that is still around today, that you would recognize today. Actually has a pretty different look today than they did back in 1944 when this book was published. So this is Miss America, volume number 1, issue number 2. Unassuming cover, but when we open this up, we've got a comic right here. Now this is kind of more like your standard magazine. There's a lot of little write-ups and stories and things in here, but there are 2 different comic stories. This is not the one that has the first appearance, that comes later, but this is actually a retelling of the origin. I don't think it's the first origin. Might be, but might be the first origin of Miss America. But I figured I'd flip through this one relatively quick, give you a chance to see this Golden Age art. It's actually pretty solid interior art for the Golden Age. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. It can be hit and miss. There's some pretty big panels, some pretty detailed art that's in here. It's actually quite a few pages. I think it's maybe 15 or 16 pages or so for this story. So a pretty detailed story, lots of lots of text, lots of artwork. A mix of, smaller panels and larger panels, and actually some pretty large panels here. They're pretty cool. We're almost to the end of this story. If you want to take your time and read this one, you can always pause or slow down the video. Then here is here's the last panel. Now here is where one of those pages is missing. You can see it jumps from page 16 right here to page 19. So pages 17 and 18 are missing right there. But now you can see that it's a lot of different articles and that kind of thing. But if we keep going, you will eventually get to another kind of comic story that's on the interior, and this is where that first appearance is. And that is right here. And this is the first appearance of Patsy Walker. And it's also the first appearance of Hetty Wolf, who's kind of her friend / rival. But Patsy Walker is a character that is still around today and is actually Hellcat, the superhero Hellcat. So that's where you may recognize her from. I can't remember what her first appearance is as Hellcat. It's like Avengers 144, something like that. I'm pulling that out of thin air. I don't remember if that's exactly what it is. But this is the first appearance of Patsy Walker. And it's actually, again, a pretty long story. It's not just like it's a single panel or anything like that. It is a definite first appearance, and also first appearance of her brother and her boyfriend and that kind of stuff. So other characters as well. This is where you've got that first appearance of Hetty Wolf, where she runs into her, and Hetty's not too nice, but not a great friend right at the beginning here. Definitely more of a rival, but you can see. Pretty good length story as well here for that first appearance. And here's where it ends, so you can see that there's nothing missing here for the story for her. But again, we have a kind of a gap in the pages. This is where we're missing, I think they said there were like some paper dolls or something like that are normally here. So we jump from page 58 to 61. So 59 and 60 are also missing here. So there's a couple pages that are missing out of it, but you can see this is a mix of comic art and kind of like your standard magazine, and then there's the back cover. But that's the full book. That's that Golden Age first appearance for Patsy Walker, now today known as Hellcat. I thought this was pretty cool because it's a raw book. A lot of times these are graded, so you're not going to actually see the interior. So I thought this was a unique opportunity to show this one. So let me know what you think. Were you aware that this is the first appearance of Patsy Walker all the way back in the Golden Age? If not, now you know. You can keep an eye out for this book because it is, it's a Golden Age book. It's 1944. It is not a very common book, but it's one that I feel like maybe you might come across in like an antique store or something, and you might flip right past it, not thinking much about it because of the pretty unassuming cover. But on the interior, there is that major first appearance as well as some secondary type first appearances as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one.